Yeah, looks like both our recordings should be going now.
Yay!
Sick. Oh, I also did turn my gain down a tiny bit.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. So.
Keep losing my mouse. There it is. Hello.
Yeah. We want to do synopsis and then just kind of move through the progression of the movie.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like last time, but just, briefer.
Mm-hmm. Reefer?
Briefer.
I barely even know her.
Got him.
Waited 26 years for a D's nuts joke. Lydia Dietz.
Absolutely put that in the clip.
Are you dying? Are your Sour Patch Kids killing you?
Oh, no, it's just this Italian cold that was a while ago, but the cough lingers. Hey, if you're just joining us, this is the one about Godzilla movies. And this is what's in the show is in the show. So
he's learning.
You're probably 20 seconds in at this point. Today we have the best movie in the Godzilla series.
Hands down.
As voted by absolutely no one. And to get through it, I've brought unnamed sour candy.
Because this isn't sponsored, so why would we name anybody, right?
But if you want to sponsor us, unnamed candy brand, who actually owns this brand?
The one about Godzilla movies at gmail.com.
Oh, good. If you're wondering, it's Mondelez Global LLC.
Oh.
I knew
they make
that.
some other some other candies.
Caleb?
Oh yeah, I mean that's just their household name. Household name.
So let's just, get through this, shall we?
Thanks unnamed sour child-shaped candies, Bok Bok. As Brian mentioned, the best Godzilla movie ever. Have we named it yet? We haven't even named it yet. The suspense, dude.
This is called All Monsters Attack, and it is from 1969, which is the year after the movie we talked about last time, which was Destroy All Monsters. And last time, the movie featured all of the monsters, and there was cool stuff. And this movie, it's a little different, which we're going to get into. Yeah. Have you ever had to do like a group project, but the assignment was changed like the day before the due date? And you were like, but we've done all this work. And your group mates are like, well, what if we just
start over?
Try to use something from last year and repurpose it. That's kind of what watching this movie is like.
Good night, everybody.
You know how there's been, I don't know, maybe 10 Godzilla movies before this point, chronologically?
Well, funny you should say that. This is the 10th Godzilla movie.
What if all of those 9 films were just B-roll, and you could recontextualize them into something resembling a movie? That's what this movie is. I'm trying to think of more jokes. You got any jokes? It helps to process the pain.
Yeah, I mean, laughing so that we don't cry, right? It's a lot about. I mean, to draw a parallel to the movie, we're fantasizing about something to escape some loneliness and to escape some just really not great things. So
it's interesting you say that. All right, who's breaking down the plot?
I'll break it down because you just did all of that work, and I feel like I need to. Welcome. I feel like I need to contribute here. I
here to serve.
just here. Yeah, as Brian said, All Monsters Attack, the 10th movie in the series, and easily the strangest of the Showa-era films. And we follow a young boy named Ichiro as he's having some kind of like pretty standard childlike experiences, fighting against bullies, feelings of loneliness. He happens to be something known as a latchkey kid, which, are you familiar with that term, Brian?
I am. I did.
Okay.
I watched in Japanese, of course. They did use that term. Showed up in the subtitles. There must be a term for that Japanese, but latchkey kid, meaning a child of parents who both work, who has to let themselves in the house when they get home and kind of be self-sufficient to some extent. So the character in this movie is portrayed as that. It's a part of the story, if you can call it that.
Yeah. And basically, he's just having a really rough time as a kid, and he kind of escapes how rough his life is. He's got, exactly. Both of his parents work all the time, covering shifts for other people because they need the money, that kind of stuff. They have a neighbor that kind of looks after him occasionally. And so this kid just doesn't have very many friends. He doesn't feel very confident in himself. He's got some bullies and he's lonely. And he has come up with this place called Monster Island in his head, and it's where Godzilla and his son Minya live, and a few other monsters. And he, just kind of like falls asleep and dreams about this place, and
Sure.
has some adventures there. And his adventures in real life, his adventures in his dreams, kind of give him courage in real life to fight some of the things that he's going through.
Yeah, could have said it better myself. I was going to say, if we rewind to the last movie, Destroy All Monsters, what did they call the island in that one? Was it Monster Island, or was it something similar? I'm trying to remember now.
I believe it was Monster Island.
It's almost as if he was referencing the name of an island that people were familiar with. Even though this movie really has no connection to the last one, and the last one was supposed to be set in the future, and it just happened to be the same monster name, but like to the audience of the film.
Oh no, the last movie is called Monster Land.
Don't remember that. Okay. Well, those are technically different things. Retroactive. You've escaped the copyright claim, sir.
Hey, so if you haven't noticed yet, hi, we're just going to a little pause in here. Hi, everyone. I try not to address you too often, but here we are. Brian really hated this movie, and he's holding it back. I don't know if you can see the venom just dripping from his mouth right now, but we're going to get there. I'm going to give him a shot.
I won't use the word hated, but I think you can reach your own conclusion after the things that I say.
Yeah, so I mean, yeah, dude, it's I'm gonna come right out and say it. I don't like this movie very much either. It was just kind of like it is what it is. It was Toho telling Honda what they wanted him to do and not giving him very much money at all to work with, and kind of forcing a tight turnaround, So and it shows. It really was. It was Toho trying to still figure it out, I guess. Like, they're having success, but they want more success. Kind of like, how do we make Marvel movie? Somebody I'm sure said, how do we make Marvel movies that are not only going to draw in adults but kids? Because everybody loves Spider-Man, but how do we make these things coexist? And so, but Toho just spent all this money on Destroy All Monsters the year before, and so they literally said, "Hey, Ishiro or Honda, make a kids-based film with no money, and basically you just need to use B-roll."
Yep.
And go.
So it is a helpful context to understand that this film is intended for a child audience. Like, it was made for kids. It's a very different tone. And I guess that also helped with them kind of like phoning it in,
Yeah, I guess.
So very different kind of a story, which I'm sure is driven by the creative constraints that he was given, but there's just like really not much point to it. Not a bad film.
I mean,
it's just
it's a good, yeah, exactly. It's not, I mean, the high points for me are not high points. The things that I like the most are like that they did at least explore this idea of post-war Japan now expanding into industrialization and what families were actually grappling with at the time. And there's the mention of all the smog and everything too, kind of right at the beginning. The dad and one of his coworkers sitting next to the train talking about how they want to.
Not subtle. In fact, the whole there's a theme song with lyrics and singing to open this film.
Yeah.
Weird, wild choice.
Very weird.
And the lyrics clearly reference smog, thinly veiled.
Yeah. Well, and again, it's for kids. They were just like, we don't want them to miss any of this. It's for kids. We're gonna shoot for kids, and you got to spell it out for them a lot more than you do for an adult audience.
Some of the few things that I was actually really interested by was some of the footage at the beginning, like historically, kind of showing bits of areas of Japan within that time period. Not something that I've been exposed to a whole lot. Mm-hmm. Late 60s, kind of like in the boonies, Japan vibes.
Yeah.
Just like, I don't know, the locomotives going by and like some of like the apartment architecture and some of that was just kind of interesting to see. I don't know, maybe like growing up just in like the history books, I saw a lot of imagery from like, America in the 60s, obviously. And by that, I mean the U.S., of course, but like a lot of photograph things that I've seen from that time period in the U.K. and in the U.S. There's like a lot of cultural things happening there. Just, not seeing a lot of like late 60s Japan. I've watched some 50s era Japanese movies. Most of them are samurai movies, so it's not related to the 50s anyways.
That's not really,
Actually, if you haven't heard of it, there's a movie called High and Low. It's a Japanese film. It is a Kurosawa film, legendary Japanese director. But it is, it's kind of like a investigation, I believe, like a missing kid, kind of like almost like a police detective sort of a thing going on. Which like
I've seen pieces of this.
Great film. But if nothing else, it's worth watching because it kind of gives you visibility into 50s Japan. It's kind of cool. So, yeah.
Nice. I'll add it to the watch list. I like that, and I like Gabara. This is the only movie that he's in. That big green weird monster. Yeah, he's just pretty cool. He's got a very interesting roar scream thing, and he's got I don't know why he's got that weird little orange tuft of mohawk hair or whatever, but he's got a little orange hair, and he's got Emperor Palpatine lightning hands. So that's pretty fun. I wish they would have used him again. Unlimited power.
I am your bully, child.
What?
In a thinly veiled analogy to childlike trauma.
Very thinly veiled. Yeah. I mean, dude, I think that's, I don't know, it's the cheap clip show, like Saturday morning cartoon equivalent of a Godzilla movie. And I'm glad that they only ever made one of them like this. And I could leave it. I was telling you before we officially started recording that I watched this movie at 1.5 speed instead of normal, and other than the music feeling a little like the whole way through, it was it actually kind of made it like I was watching an episode of TV, and that felt more appropriate.
It felt a little like you'd eaten too many Sour Patch Kids,
which is what you're gunning for here. So
this kind of like almost like 3 acts to this film, if you can call it that. For reference, This film is barely over an hour long. If that doesn't tell you how much of a phone it in this was, I mean, even some of the earlier films we've seen that are okay by modern standards are like maybe 90 minutes or something at least.
Right.
So this is barely. I will say,
do you think that was because of like? Do you think that's because it was a kid's thing, or is it just because he struggled to to make it longer than that?
I think
because Honda has said himself that it was his least favorite Godzilla movie, but at least he got the chance to talk about like what he talked about in it. You know,
I will say it didn't feel super short, even though it was. So I guess the pacing of the plot was fine. You know, the story that he set out to tell wasn't a very long story. Didn't have a lot to say, you know. So it would have been hard to make a longer film. There's no fixing it. I mean, it is what it is. What's in the movie's in the movie, you know. What's in the show's in the show. So there's kind of like 3 acts, if you will. We have sort of establishing stuff about this kid, and he's just kind of like running around outside near the rail yards. I don't know, there's abandoned buildings and stuff. You do get kind of a little bit of insight in the area and the time period, which is cool. I did actually like the opening freeze frame style credits. So it's all like previous footage from Godzilla movies, which is like the main criticism of this movie, but they did kind of the style where they like have like some kind of a punch action or some sort of like something from a fight of a character, and then it like freeze frames mid swing or something, and then there's like titles over it. It was a super stylish,
starring
very like kind of a classic style,
kind of comic book style a little bit.
Almost like you're kind of like, I feel like I've seen that kind of a thing before. I don't know, for a show or a movie where like the opening credits are kind of teasing things that are going to come later in the film, which is not untrue for this because it's reused footage in the opening credits and in the movie, so it is technically the same footage. It's just not really from the movie. So that's kind of like the opening act. He's sad and stuff. He wants to escape. We do have the opening song. It's kind of ridiculous. They're kind of doing a lot of complaining about smog Godzilla in a not subtle way. We did encounter, so there's like the guy who's sort of looking after the kid in the apartment complex. And he's like, I don't know, building a computer or something is the idea.
He's
and it has
a
like
toy maker.
Yeah, he seems kind of like an inventory kind of a guy. And the joke is that the computer can do your homework. And I couldn't help but laugh watching that, something from 1969, thinking of ChatGPT and the world we live in now. It's not even a computer. It's a cloud-based thing you access from a computer that can literally do your homework.
What is a computer?
I just thought that was funny. Like, if only you knew. Little toy maker guy. So that was funny. And then on the screen of that computer, they showed like footage of Apollo 11. So I thought that was actually really cool.
Yeah.
Like, we've been talking about between like the last film and also Invasion of back in Astro Monster, like talking about sort of the space race stuff, and like here's like the first acknowledgement of the men on the moon from a Godzilla film, if you can call it that. Godzilla's technically in the film, but so kind of like the whole first arc is depressed child wants to escape, and he kind of goes into his daydreams. He's like taking a really trippy nap without the drugs somehow, and just in. And, you know, there's not really a lot of direction given to like what is happening on the screen and why. You know, it feels like an acid trip. Maybe we're supposed to assume that it's just kind of all in his imagination, or maybe it's a dream or something.
Yeah, I mean, it goes very Willy Wonka for a second. You know, like
every time he goes to sleep and is like willing himself to go into the imaginary world.
Mitnia.
And then he like goes to sleep. But yes, this movie feels like an LSD trip. It's
such a fever dream.
As someone who's done a lot of LSD, it's exactly like that.
Really? Oh.
Yeah, something you just didn't know about it.
Were you trying to bait me into saying that I've done LSD?
No.
Because I haven't.
For legal reasons, no, I have not. Anyways, that's kind of the first act. And then the second act, like, he kind of goes in and out of that world a couple times, but it's basically, they shot some footage of him in, like, some jungly area, sort of peeking out from between the trees, and then they just cut to a ton of, like, random monster fights from other films. And it's just reused footage of, like, the best of moments from movies you've seen before. And the idea is he's watching these things happen. I don't know. It's sort of
from
like,
a safe distance on the island.
Like, whoa, oh my God, it's Godzilla. He's fighting so-and-so. Whoa. And then he just cut to the same footage you've seen before. Boo. Yeah, that's kind of like the whole second act. There's like a couple things that happen where he goes in and out of that world. And then ultimately, the third act is like, there's this random subplot where, like, on the news earlier in the movie, they're like, oh yeah, like these bank robbers or something stole a bunch of money and they're like on the run. So the third act of the movie is like, these guys are hiding out nearby this kid's apartment and they like kidnap him, and then he's like running away from them, and it very quickly turns into Home Alone before Home Alone, and it has nothing to do with Godzilla. And he's just kind of like hiding from them. Well,
except for he gained, eventually by the third act, he gained the courage to fight them because he watched Godzilla and Gabara fight.
Except that it was in his mind, so...
Yeah. So he taught himself to have some more courage.
Kind of falls apart the more you think about it. But thinking about it less actually makes the movie better, so...
You know what? I'm going to say go to therapy and tell me that falls apart. Jackass.
He didn't receive any advice from anything real. He like dreamt it all. I don't know.
No, he had people telling him in real life to stand up for himself. His neighbor was telling him that
the toy maker guy said some things.
Yeah, that he could stand up to Gabara because he called. Yeah, he like had him. Right. Yeah, they made dinner together and like.
That's true.
Yeah, so.
When they fed him beef,
really, it is a like. It's a little bit beef. Of a like.
There's a catch here.
Yeah.
Poor kid.
It's like, so you're paying me to test your toy by feeding me beef? Yes. Okay.
Yeah. I feel like the third act was more than a third of the movie. It really dragged on for me. Footage isn't a lot of it. There's just a really long portion of the film. It's just like these sort of overacting bad guys doing the Home Alone thing. Again, this precedes Home Alone, but I mean, you get the idea. He's just kind of like hiding from them and trying to escape. Yeah,
and he covers that hole in the floor with a newspaper, and he's like, come on, fall in. And then the other dude falls through later, and like, I mean, it's got its little like fun moments. I found myself like, I know, it's little bits of enjoyable here and there. It was funny to see them reuse the bit about Godzilla teaching Minya how to blow his like fire breath. And that's reused from Son of Godzilla.
Some of it is that there is a differently shot scene.
Yeah, there's a differently shot scene, and then there's like the boy pushes the rock off of the cliff onto his tail, and then he hits Gabara. So yeah, very, very minimal new stuff. Lots of reused footage. We see Spyga. We say the giant praying mantis things. There's the random condor attack for some reason. They're just like...
Yeah,
I don't know. It's just really random. And I don't know. I think I'm done talking about this. That's how I feel. It was okay.
So I have a specific list of things that I didn't like. It's not a terribly long list, but...
Sweet. Let's do it.
Singing felt weird to me. I don't know. Just weird choice. I don't know if you noticed this. And I kind of checked. I didn't rewind, but I kind of peered closer a little bit. Like when he lets himself into the apartment with the key or whatever himself early in the film. It very much looks to me like the whole kitchen area is child-sized. Like, if you look at the things he's doing and the table size and, like, the things he's reaching, like, they're all sized to him. They're not adults. So I don't know if they, like, built, like, a mini kitchen to shoot the scenes with him. I don't know.
No.
It just looked like it was scaled down.
No, that tracked with everything that I've seen inside of Japanese homes. They don't use chairs. They sit on the floor for everything.
Yeah, I'm not talking about the table
Japanese
It's like
Japanese women are Japanese women are tiny. Japanese men are not very often tall.
You heard it here first.
Not saying anything nobody knew. Title. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think that they build a miniature set. I just think you're used to Western style.
I've seen a number of 50s Japanese films, so like I understand the aesthetic difference. This seems smaller than that to me, but maybe I'm wrong.
Maybe it's because they're poor and it's in a like crazy like urban, quickly developed urban area. Then it's
like
cheap
one of those,
and small.
New York City broom closet apartments.
Exactly.
We also have Minilla, also known as Minya, a bit the son of Godzilla. Speaking in a child's voice.
Oh yeah, dude, I forgot.
On the island, it literally is having full conversation
from inside of the suit. It's like
inside the suit is a child the same size as our character, just having a conversation.
That's pretty cool.
In the dream world, I mean, it's not like that far off.
Exactly.
It's just really weird, man. And if you read the reviews, no one likes it. It didn't make sense. And, yeah. And the final thing on my list, stuff I would change, the entire plot of this movie. And that's the end of my review for this film. And I gave it 2 out of 5 stars. What did you give it?
Ooh, I also gave it 2 out of 5 stars.
It's not much.
That thing there that you said at the end, the only other thing that I would change is the entire plot. That reminds me of when I worked at Apple and somebody would be gone for a really long time. Like you could get a career experience where you got to go work in California for 6 months, or you'd be out for, you had a baby or whatever and come back. And we would all joke like, oh, hey, welcome back. Hey, the only thing that's different is everything. Hey, the only thing that's changed, so hey, there's been some small changes on how we sell iPhone. The only thing that's different is everything.
Classic.
Yeah. Yeah, I gave it a 2 out of 5. I don't know. It's stock footage central. There's a talking Minya. There's a little bit of like there's the real world grit to it, which I think is kind of what gives it a little bit of saving grace. That he at least tried to work within the confines he had to give it a good story. And then, we've got the only kaiju that never comes back. He's the only kaiju that is never in a movie twice.
Repurpose an old Godzilla suit and kind of redesign to sort of like metaphorically represent the child's bully. Like that sort of a antagonistic character and this imaginary island in his mind. That's how they made it anyways. So, I think we could wrap it up. You think we can wrap it up? Yeah, this has been the One About Godzilla movies, sponsored by Generic Sour Candy. Make sure to check out patreon.com/the One About Godzilla movies. You will get the even longer version of this where we talked beforehand and maybe even for a couple minutes after. I literally just square it up and send it out. It's very what's in the show is in the show. That's what's on patreon.com/the One About Godzilla movies. It's for $1 a month. We split that 50-50. It really helps towards Brian's snacks. I think I can't tell if we've got more than, it says we have 5 listeners now, but I can't tell if that's like people are downloading it multiple times, like once in their room and once in their mom's room or something. So their own Wi-Fi router.
But yeah, I mean, we're growing and that helps. So we say thank you. This has been the One About Godzilla movies.
And
take
again,
us to the fade out, Brian.
The only thing I would change about this movie is everything title. It's been real. Perfect.
And scene.
I'm going to stop my recording.
No, keep it going.
Oh, all right.
Patreon. Hey, say hi to the Patreon. Hi, Patreon.
Hey, who likes candy?
Hey, now that we're not on something public, Sour Patch Kids. In case you didn't catch that, they're Sour Patch Kids.
Whoa. Here's an exclusive.
Not sponsored.
Dish for you Patreon folks. I'm probably going to go play Overwatch 2 now.
Oh, dude, I'm going to go play Overwatch 2. Can I join you? Do you have room?
Sure.
Do you play non-comp or are you playing just quick play?
Mostly quick play. Just feels chiller, but yeah.
I don't do comp. I suck.
Yeah.
All right, well, maybe I'll join you.
Couple of friends I play with pretty regularly.
What do you mean? Who do you mean?
Oh, these days I'm mostly queuing tank and damage. And my strongest characters are probably Orisa tank and junk damage, I would say.
Okay.
If I'm gonna like float like a butterfly, sting like a bee, like the comfortability, like that's kind of where I'm at. And then Moira is like my support where I feel that way. But I'm a much stronger tank or DPS than support because Moira's really the only support I'm good at. So
interesting.
Yeah.
I'm a really good support, I think. I like Juno the most. I'm getting okay at Mercy.
One of my friends who plays regularly, he plays on Xbox. He's probably the best Mercy I've ever seen. And we can accomplish so much with him attached.
Yeah, if you've got a good Mercy,
we
dude,
really take it for granted. Because when he's not there, we're like, I can't stay. Why?
Yeah. Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah. That game is really interesting to me in how like you can get random people together, or if you've got a group that always plays together, like it can work really, really well one game and it can fall apart the next and you're all playing the exact same character. Yeah. And it's just it's frustrating.
Be too hard on yourself, you know.
No.
If you have a really hard game, the next one usually is like a lot easier.
Yeah. It's definitely like steep highs and low lows for sure. Yeah. So
yeah. No, it's fun. We should play.
Yeah, I like Diva tank and then Mercy and Juno for support. I don't like DPS. So,
well, okay, nice.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think we can stop recording now.
Yeah. Bye, Patreon.